Some people have asked me, why do you love the VAIO? Well, it's mainly sentimentality. This right here is my Sony VAIO. It belonged to my grandfather. He got it because my dad wanted to get a laptop that was under like $500. And so, yeah, it's mainly sentimentality, but it's also the fact that you always hear people gush about the ThinkPads, and the framework laptops and stuff like that. But you never hear anybody talk about the VAIO. I've heard from people that, I remember watching a video by Salem Techsperts where he had to work on a Sony VAIO and it was an absolute pain to work on. This one's actually very easy to work on. This is what got me started in tech. This laptop has taught me more than my computer. Okay, no, that's a lie, but it taught me a lot. Taught me how I can push limitations of hardware. This model originally ran on Windows 7 and came with a 500GB HDD, 4GB of RAM, and a Pentium B940. When people hear the name Pentium, they think, oh, that's old. But Pentium was actually used in budget laptops up until 2023 when it was discontinued. And this is an example of it. It was a budget laptop even for its time. Now, one thing some people might not know is that the VAIO brand was actually continued. In 2014, Sony sold off the VAIO Corporation to another company called Japan International Producers or something. The initials are JIP. And earlier this year, actually, JIP sold it off to another company. And so the VAIO brand is still alive and well. They don't make good business class laptops, and I kind of want to get one, except they're a few $1,000s. But what have I done with this VAIO that I have right here? Well, besides replacing defective parts such as the screen and the battery and the keyboard when that part arrives, I replaced the optical drive with a caddy and put a 1TB hard drive in here. At one point I had the OS upgraded to Windows 10 from 7, and also to an SSD, although that SSD I then put in my computer, and now I have a different SSD in here of the same capacity. I upgraded the RAM from 4GB to 8GB, and upgraded the CPU from Pentium B940 to an i7-2640M. If you're familiar with my YouTube channel, you have definitely seen me talk about the VAIO. I love this machine, I will never get rid of it. Although essentially right now with me replacing so many parts on it, it's essentially this ship of Theseus. Right now the only things that are the same are the motherboard, the wires, and the case. And the heatsink. And the keyboard, but I need to replace the keyboard, and I'm thinking of replacing the heatsink because I think that's what's causing my issues with heat. With my original Pentium B940, it would get like 55 degrees on idle. Now with this i7-2640M, it gets like 80 degrees on idle despite it drawing the same amount of wattage. And I think the fan might have some issues, and that's probably why. So I'm gonna find a replacement. I also, because I upgraded the CPU, I can upgrade the RAM even further, so I'm gonna do that too.